Good morning, ducky loves, or good evening, should I say, because it's Friday, it's 8 p.m, which means it's time to make fudge. I hope you've all had an amazing week. I have had the busiest week ever with work and with my new book coming out, absolutely fabulous. If you've got a copy, I hope you're absolutely loving it. If you haven't got a copy, I will put the link to Amazon in the description of the video, so go and grab yourself a copy. I'm so happy it's out in the world, and thank you all for tuning in each week. And yeah, it's been an amazing week. So I haven't had time to do a fudge video yet, so it's not even 6 o'clock on the Friday morning and I'm up and I'm making fudge. Don't know if you can see from this camera angle, but I've had to change it slightly because I've already got rum and raisin, amaretto cherry, rum and raisin and St. Ange Pandy cooling on the side. So you wouldn't be able to see me if I did it from a normal angle. But I've had so many fudge orders this week, and I did a lovely donation to Sensory Superstars with Sophie's Legacy of £260 this week, which was amazing. If you want to know any more information about that, follow me on my Facebook and Instagram pages and you can find out more about the donation. So yeah, it's been busy. So I thought I would start the day off with a lovely Easter themed batch of fudge. So this is Happy Easter, loves. So the first ingredient you need is 1 tin of condensed milk. This is a Tesco tin, so be careful because you can see the label says attached and you don't want that going in your fudge. If you can get a ring pull one from Morrison's, get a ring pull one. But if not, Tesco or Aldi, fine. You just need to watch where the label's going. Get a little knife before you chuck that in the bin. Just scrape that out. And you don't want to waste it. Just going to chuck this in the bin. Then your next ingredient is 500 grams of milk chocolate. So this is Tesco's again. I use, whichever supermarket I go to, I use their own brand of chocolate and they're all really nice. This one is called Ms. Marley's, which makes me happy because my niece is called Molly and I call her Miss Molly. Or I call her Molly Moo or Molly Moomin. So yeah, 500 grams of white chocolate. You can also use milk chocolate, and this year I normally only do white chocolate, and then a customer asked, could I do milk chocolate? And I said, yeah. So then I put that on and then sold loads of both. So I've hardly got any mini eggs left now, so I've nearly sold out. I think I've got enough to make another 3 boxes after this, and then I'm sold out, and this batch is already sold. So it's a very popular one each year when it's on the menu. As you know, I always break up my chocolate because then it melts better in the microwave, in my opinion. Might just be a placebo. So then I have an 800 watt microwave, so I put it on for 2 minutes. But if your microwave is a higher strength, do it 1 minute. If you're making it with white chocolate, maximum If it's a higher, then 800 watt microwave, maximum of 1 minute bursts. If it is 800, you can do it in 2 minutes, and I only know this because I've made so many batches and tested it. If you make this one with milk chocolate and you've got an 800 watt microwave, 1 minute bursts maximum, because otherwise it'll burn. And if it's a higher strength microwave, higher wattage microwave, only 30-second bursts, because it will burn milk chocolate. It burns quite easy. Right, just chuck this in the bin. Now, the only other ingredient in this recipe is mini eggs. And you need 90 grams of mini eggs in the fudge. I was trying to be so careful, and I've gone over now. There we go. So you need 90 grams of mini eggs in the fudge, and then you need 36 mini eggs to go on top of the fudge. As this is just stinged, we'll stir it with our wooden spoon. I have a whole drawer full of wooden spoons, and it's so handy, and this one has got a snowman on, and it's like my fave of all time. I bought it as a Secret Santa present at work, and it's like the nicest thing anyone's ever bought me at work. Well, not necessarily the nicest, the most, I don't know, it just surprised me and thought, oh my God, whoever got me this, and I still have never found out who, really knows that I would just love it. I love the film The Snowman, I love Christmas, and I love making fudge, so it was the perfect idea. So really give this a good stir. Get right to the bottom of that glass bowl. Just make sure you've given it all a good stir. And then when you're confident that you have, stick it back in. For another 2 minutes. Now, I should have got my bigger wooden board out really. But what we're going to do now is we're actually going to crush the mini eggs that are going to go in the fudge. To do this, I use a wooden rolling pin. Then what I do is I just go over the top and put my weight over the top, and one at a time push down. None of this smashing it about business like you might do with biscuits, because mini eggs, they are quite fragile, they do smash quite easily, but also they've obviously got this hard shell, and you start smashing it, loves, it's going to go absolutely frigging everywhere, including your eyes probably. So all you do is gently just lean over, just crush it. If you lean over, more of your weight is being transferred, and that's why they crush so easily. If you stand here and crush, even though they're tiny mini eggs, you might find it hard to do. So lean over and crush. That's all the ingredients ready, love. So I'm just going to put a few bits in the sink ready to wash up after, and we'll carry on. So now the white chocolate has been melted for 4 minutes, and normally that is enough. As you can see, it is great consistency for a fudge. If you got to this stage and you still weren't happy with how much the chocolate has melted, You could just bung it back in for another minute. But for the consistency that we want for a fudge, this is perfect. Be careful that you don't get yourself when you're stirring, because obviously this is boiling hot white chocolate, and if that splashes you, that's burning you, so be careful. So just get a little knife and once you've stirred your fudge and you're happy with your fudge, then add your mini eggs. The idea is you don't want the mini eggs to melt. You just want them to be in the fudge so that some bites, people getting a bite of mini egg in the fudge as well. So you add them in at the last second. Just stir for about 10 seconds. That's all you need. And then you pour into your tin, which you line beforehand with baking paper, because otherwise you will not get the fudge out. And it just makes it easier to lift the fudge out. How I line the tin is I roll the baking paper over the top of the tin, and then I cut around the edge with a sharp pair of scissors. I use a 9-inch tin, so I can get 36 pieces of fudge. And now to finish off, you do a mini egg garnish. And because you're doing 36, you do 6 by 6. And you might know, if you've watched my videos before, that is actually quite difficult to get 6 by 6 if you're doing it all by eye. So what you should do really is go down the left hand side and then go across the top. Now, I measured out these mini eggs beforehand because I thought it would make it easier. And it's going to be a real test to see whether I actually know how to count to 36 or not. Because I'm looking at what's left here, and currently I would say no. But we will keep going. If not, I have got more. I don't think I'm going to be far off, actually. Do you know what as well? What's interesting is I have not purposely picked out colours, and I've got nearly all the way, and I've managed to do different colours for each one. Hooray, I can count. "36 mini eggs." Done. So it really is as simple as that, loves. So then all you do is let it cool down and then put it in your fridge, and this one will be set within 2 hours. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how it looks. I think you're going to like this one. See you in a bit. Oh, hi ducky loves. So as promised, before I chop it up, here is the Happy Easter Fudge. I am so sorry about the camera angle. I had no idea that was slightly too high. But hopefully, with all of my explaining and the sound effects, you got the gist of what I was doing throughout the video. So if you follow those instructions, then this is how your Happy Easter Fudge will turn out. The recipe is available in my first book, One Book of Fudge. I'm going to stick both links below this video. And yeah, have a lovely weekend, loves. Sending you loads of love.